Hi, second graders. Today we will be continuing to observe our brassica plants and learn about flowers and pollen today. Now, I know that we have not had any flowers form on our brassica plants yet. It is still a little early for that, but I want you to be prepared for when you do see that first bud form and a flower grow, that you are ready to observe and note the different parts of the flower. So think about first what has changed since the last time you observed your plant. The last time we observed our brassica was on Monday. So think about how much it has grown. Are there more leaves? Are you seeing true leaves instead of just the first leaves? And now we are going to talk about the flowers. What do you suppose flowers do for the plant? Why do plants have flowers? That is what we are going to answer today in science. What do you suppose flowers do for the plant? Here is a close-up of a brassica flower. I want you to pay close attention whenever your brassica does flower to the center part of the flower. Today we are going to talk about pollen and the different parts of a flower, the stamen and the pistil. So after you hear about them today, when your brassica flowers, look for those flower parts. Why do plants have flowers? Well, so flowers are important because they produce the seeds. On the flower, there is pollen. Pollen is a fine yellow powder that is found on flowers. Pollen is what helps the flower make seeds. And you can see this bumblebee has pollen all over it from the flower. Why are insects important to plants? Now, you might already know this from listening to our Read Aloud Ed puzzle that you just completed before watching this video. Why are they important to plants? They are pollinators. Pollinators are animals and insects that move the pollen from the stamen to the pistil to make seeds. In this diagram of this flower, you can see where the stamen is and the pistil is in the center. So all along the stamen you can see there is that fine powder. This looks a little brown, but brownish yellow that has pollen on it. And here are some examples of pollinators that help move the pollen from the stamen to the pistil. Bees, hummingbirds, bats, ladybugs, and butterflies. They are all very important to making sure that the plants grow seeds and continue their life cycle. You saw this diagram on Monday, and we said that the seed pods will emerge about 7 days after the brassica plant flowers. So the brassica plant has to flower before the seed pods can emerge. Now, second graders, since we are growing our brassica inside, our brassica plant doesn't have an opportunity to have a pollinator come and pollinate it for us. So in your science bag, there is a cotton swab. Once your brassica has flowered, you will take the cotton swab and get some pollen on it from the stamen of your flower, and then rub it on or touch it to the pistil, which is the center of your flower. So you'll kind of move the pollen around inside the flower, and that will pollinate your flower. Since we don't have any pollinators inside our building, we have to do the pollinating ourselves. So that is what your Q-tip is for, your cotton swab is for inside your science bag. So I know it will still be probably another week or two or more until our brassica flowers, but I want you to be prepared and ready that if you are going to be able to see a seed pod form, you will have to pollinate your brassica, okay? About 7 days after your flowers have bloomed and you have pollinated them, you will start to see seed pods. So after watching this video and the video about pollination you watched earlier, we are going to think about these 4 questions. What is pollen? What does pollinate mean? What kinds of animals pollinate flowers? Why are pollinators so important? Second graders, you will choose just one of these questions to answer in your science notebook today. So choose which one you would like to answer and write your answer in complete sentences in your science notebook. You will also still note how your plant has changed from Monday. You will measure your brassica again and count how many leaves it has, and still notice if some of the leaves are all true leaves or if they are first leaves. So you will be measuring and counting the number of leaves on your brassica, as well as answering one of the questions about pollen and pollinators. Remember to record your information and your answers on your plant record sheet. Take a picture of that sheet when you are finished and upload it to this slide. Or only if your camera is not working, you can type your response here and then click submit. Thank you for learning all about why plants have flowers today, second graders, and how pollinators are so important to the life cycle of plants and flowers.